Yeah, I'm ready. Good interview. Enjoyed it. Do you need me? Yeah, okay.
Okay, hello everybody, and we're very, very proud now to invite on stage Vanguard Comics and Gosport Comic Con's organiser, creator, Mark Bennett here, and we have Wayne Jackson, who's an artist, and Daniel Peacock, actor from Only Fools and Horses, Quadrophenia, Romulus Prince of Thieves, and McCann's Chips advert from the early 80s. Sure, you can appreciate that. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage.
Legend. Well done.
Hi guys.
Well, you don't need a microphone.
No, I shall boom out. How's that?
So we're chatting with these guys today. This is the full proper launch of their comic, which has been written and created by Daniel and realised in the art world by Wayne and marketed by Mark here. It's a wonderful comic. I had the privilege of reading a copy of it last night, so I hope you're all able to pick one up. Guys, how did the whole comic come about with your creative? When did it all start?
Well, it all started, I mean, I've been writing since I was 19. I'm writing.
You right? No.
And basically, it's a great question. Basically, I was at the BBC many years ago, and we were talking about possible ideas. I'd written a thing called Cave Girl, which was did very well BBC Kids show, and I said, well, I'll follow it up, and I've got a thing, an idea, Moons on Mars, where, if you will, a little bit like, I think it was 1939 when Superman first arrived on our shelves. Basically, he was an alien going to a different planet, and that all sort of kind of intrigued me. And I thought, well, I wish I'd come up with that idea. And I thought, well, hang on, what about with Earth as it is, sort of going to pot a little bit, certainly at this moment in time. I thought, what about if we do actually need somewhere to go, the human race? Said, and it's an inevitable fact, it's not science fiction, that at some point we will have to go to Mars, without a shadow of a doubt. I mean, there's so much information about that. Not yet.
But in the near future? In
the near future, absolutely. And I was talking to the BBC about that, and they went, yeah, this is great, but it's not, we've got Doctor Who, and it's science fiction. And, well, it's not science, it's an inevitable fact. That's not fiction, it's factual. Anyway, after much discussion, they said, no, we're going to pass on this one down. But I always held on to the idea of Moons on Mars. And then, about a year and a half ago, Mark here, Mark Bennett, got in touch and said, because I was writing Fools and Horses, I wrote some books about the character that I played, Mental Mickey, and what happened to Mental Mickey and the band he was in, and Rodney afterwards. And Mark said, well, look, we should maybe turn this into a sort of comic as well. I went, well, I'll tell you what, I don't know too much about comics, but I know the sort of thing you're thinking about. Let me send you this idea, The Moons on Mars. So I sent Mark the idea, and he went, oh, hang on, this is really something. This is great. So we talked about it. We got some artists involved, but they were, I've got to be honest with you, lovely guys and girls, but they really couldn't see the vision.
Right.
They kept drawing pictures of square heads, and I kept going, no, it's not square heads. They look like us. Everyone who goes there looks like us. So Mark met up with the wonderful Wayne here, Jacko, and Jacko then said, I can illustrate this, I can do something here. Came back with some visuals, and me and Mark went, yeah, this is it. This is what we've been talking about. So the three of us got together, talked about the storylines, what the possible for issue after issue, and eventually I went away, took my old ideas from Moons on Mars, took some of those, applied it to a comic, if you will, rather than a script, and Bob's your uncle, there we are.
So did you do make your own comic then? Did you do like your own panels first of where you wanted the writing done?
Not really, no. I mean, basically, but that's a very good question. Jacko would say, and Mark's experience of comics is unsurpassed, dare I say.
It's very much his suppose.
And I sort of kind of left that to the guys.
Yeah.
In my mind, I knew like little scenes who had to say when in what order, obviously.
Yeah.
But no, that's basically down to the guys here to do the panels, and Jacko would say, no, I want to make this a big old page.
Yeah.
So it's all one picture. And so he's the governor when it comes to illustrating.
So with all the characters on here,
Yeah.
they're all from the same family. The family is called the Moon family.
Yeah.
And so did you have a rough idea of what you wanted them to look like? Or Jacko, was that all you?
Yeah, well, the thing about, can I just say, the thing about Juice, for example, there's Juice Moon there. She is a rather beautiful young lady. And on Earth, she doesn't have to do very much to be popular. She just looks.
Yeah, turns on a reality TV show.
Exactly. She goes on a reality TV show and she comes 17th. Now, the fact that behind her, the island she's just been booted off is exploding, she doesn't care about that. She wishes she was still on it, even though everyone dies on that island, because in the future, the Earth is falling apart with volcanic eruptions, etc. But so on Earth, she's very popular. Her sister, Lulu, who's based on my youngest daughter, all the characters are based on people we know and people who are interested in the comic, which I'm sure Mike will talk about later, because we get a lot of input from young people. And when they get to Mars, just being pretty,
it's not going to cut the mustard.
it does not do anything. You've got to survive. On Earth, the adverts have come to Mars. It's the most wonderful place. There's monorails. There's work for everybody.
Yeah.
It's a superb, clean place. When you get up there,
well, it reminded me.
It's not.
When I read it last night, there was things like, well, not that I remember, but I know through history that from the 1950s and the early 60s, when we had back-to-back houses and tenement houses and all this, the idea was I was going to crush all those down, and the advertisement for it was, we're going to give you this wonderful place to live.
Yeah.
And it ended up being blocks of flats.
Yeah.
And as we all know now, great place if you can if you buy a place, let's be honest. But it turned out not to be as magical or as beautiful as the advert was.
Sure.
And that's the first thing I thought of, is because sometimes like out the frying pan into the fire.
Yeah.
Where you sold this beautiful ideal place, and then when you move in and you get there, suddenly it's not all that. I think you put on one of the things is 604 already disappointed people have arrived.
Yes, exactly.
That was a brilliant line.
Yeah. Well, I think that was Mark's or Jacko's.
That made me burst out laughing.
Yeah.
That really did. Yeah.
So I mean, and that's you expect something, and it's advertised on Earth, brilliant. You get there, it's not. It's the Wild West. It's horrible because Earth wanted to get everyone up there before Earth destroyed itself. So they fake advertise basically.
Yeah.
When you get out there, you've got to survive. So that is. Whereas Lulu, who was a bit of a tomboy, not very popular on Earth, becomes a skyball player, which is the national sport, because when Earth decided to move to Mars, the intellectuals who planned the whole place said, I'll tell you what, we're going to need a national sport. So let's make it brutal and bloody, just like, if you will, Rome, the Colosseum, get the blood in the stadium and not on the streets.
Yeah.
So it's a very brutal, it's like American football, but 10 times more violent. She loves it. She's fast, she's sporty. On Earth, she's not popular. On Mars, she's a skyball champ. On Earth, Juice is knockout.
Yeah. It's massive roles reversed, isn't it?
Roles reversed entirely.
And that's what's really good about those two characters, where you've got the one who really wants to go because she's been booted off last out of this, there's something like 17 billion people have voted, but she came last.
Yeah. Well, that's
going to dent your confidence.
Exactly. So she wants to go to Mars. When she gets there, she wishes she hadn't. And as I say, for example, there's, I talk to a lot of younger people about this, because let's face it, I'm a bit of an old git. If I went to Mars, when you get up there, by the way, the adverts are for the adults. It's all about leisure. You don't have to work anymore. You sit back and you enjoy. So poor old dad there, when he gets up there, he's much more concerned about his daughters than where he is. Mum, which we're very lucky, we've got the wonderful Sophie Aldred. You know Sophie from Doctor Who, played Ace? Yeah, we know Sophie? Yeah, absolutely. Well, she's mum.
And she looks just like...
Well, that's it.
Yeah, you look and you think, that looks so much like Sophie Aldred.
Yeah, well, it is Sophie. And Sophie, we talked to Sophie, she went, she read it and went, I want to be mum. So she's mum in this, as I say. But before I stop waffling on, one of the important things, because issue 2 is coming out relatively soon, as you'll see. I talk to a lot of young people, about this because I've got two of my kids are only 26. They're twins. So I was talking to their mates, and one of their mates called Biff, Charlie's mate. He said I was talking to him about it, and he said, "Well, you know, if I went to Mars, he's a bit of a fisherman. He loves fishing. He said I'd probably I like fish. I'd like to sell fish." He's a young bloke, he's about 22. Right. I said, "Well, there's not much water." He went, "No, you know, they do produce water, and it is water, but it's not as much as we've got down on Earth." So he said, "Well, that's a good thing because I'd be the only person who I know how to look after fish." So he becomes a bit of it. He breeds fish, sells fish. He's the only person on Mars that does that. So his big thing is, you want a taste of Earth? Come to Biff's. Yeah. But it costs a fortune. Right. You know, so young people do incredibly well. You can be who you want to be on Mars. He wanted to sell fish, and he's done really well out of it.
And is that the character that?
Yeah, that's Biff.
Does that look like your?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. Yeah.
So it's a proper family connection going on throughout the whole of this comic, then, isn't it?
Sure, absolutely.
So Wayne, when you found out that Sophie was going to be doing the voice, did you change the artwork slightly for that? So it looks like
I did. So this isn't traditional artwork. This is the use of AI, as Dan said. The challenges they had with getting artists and in the timescale. This is a story that couldn't sit on a shelf and wait to be done. So we use the AI to accelerate that process for us. Future would collaborate with artists and other people, but to get the story going, let's get it out.
But can I say here, Jacko, and good, well done you, in the fact that, let's say, I don't know how many panels there are, Jacko, you would know, what, 100 panels?
There's 123 panels roughly, I think.
123 panels now, but how many panels did you have to produce?
Probably 5,000.
5,000, you see. This wasn't just AI.
This is, I mean,
this is a proper piece of art.
AI's got a lot of difficulties with things like consistency and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it's
because I'm new to kind of like the AI style, because I like my comics and that, so it's quite new to me doing. But you get drawn in almost to the point where it's like, I used to like buying I think the Eagle used to do it, where they'd have an actual photograph comic strip going through it. I think John Cleese was on a couple of them back with the Terry Gilliam days, you know, and you soon drift back into that. You kind of think it's like the old days where we had Eagle comics with the photographs coming in there. So I think it really works out so well, and it's quite interesting the fact that this is your launch. And you started it off like this, but you're still thinking in the back of your head of having, you know, comic people coming in, more artists coming in. And you think, Daniel, are you gonna continue writing the whole thing? Or do you have collaborators every now and again? Or
I'll have people coming up with thoughts like Biff did. You know what I mean? Yeah. Also the girls, the band. There's a band on Mars because they try to make it as much of a society which it reflects where we are now. But of course, because of the brutality. The young people who are really becoming charge, like their bands. My daughter was a pal of some girls who were in a local band, and I was talking to them about it, and they said, I said, what would you want to be? They're not a very successful band, I might add, and they said, well, we want to be a band. So they became the Solar Sirens, you know. So it's people want to be something else on Mars, then go to Instagram, however we do it, get in touch. And you're on Mars being who you want to be.
You're talking about it, and I've got Darth Vader's sneaking about outside. He's too scared to come in. He'll do all the Galactic Empire stuff, but he's not interested in Mars. Typical. Typical upper management.
He got banished to Mars, didn't he? And I lost my heart to a Starship Trooper.
Oh my! So Mark, how did you get involved? You're in charge of marketing and design, and what do you do?
Fan stalked Daniel for a while. I met him at a gig 2 years ago. He came to Comic Con. Was it 2 years ago? Yeah. When we were in Thorngate Hall. Sophie was there as well, and we got talking, and this is how it came about. And as Daniel said, we tried working with artists left, right, and centre, but we just couldn't get anybody on board, or they just didn't see our vision. And we would have loved to have done it, but the one thing I will say about this comic is it's totally produced in Gosport. It's printed in Gosport, it's sold in Gosport, it's developed in Gosport, and it was a total sliding doors moment when Wayne and I had the discussion about it, because I had no idea when I met Jacko that he was an AI expert. And next time I saw him, he said, we had a chat, and did we? He's like, I've done this, and it's just brilliant. And that's how it all came about. But Yeah, it's a pleasure to work with Daniel and Jack. It absolutely is.
And you've got a stall in the big
Yeah, we
room,
have.
and can you buy the comics
Yeah,
from
the
there?
comics
Can you
on
sign up
sale
to
there.
subscribe or anything?
Yeah, you can subscribe, you can come on board, you can do whatever. You can buy today's issue, you can buy mugs, and you can order the next issue.
And can you get it signed? That's the most thing.
You
It's
betcha.
signed.
We're here.
Brilliant. Well, everyone, if you want to go next door and pick up this brilliant car, it's absolutely wonderful. I really
Thank
enjoyed
you,
it last
Simon.
night. And I'm going to get mine, so that's mine's at home, but I'll get mine signed. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for this wonderful trio.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, everyone.
Can I just say, is there any questions?
Oh, yeah.
Any questions at all? Someone's got to have a question. How am I so good looking?
Oh.
Well,
So over the last few years, there's been quite a lot of talk about from NASA and getting to Mars.
Yeah.
Did that add any?
very much so. Very much so. Because I did research, and I've never been a great researcher, to be honest with you, regarding certain things. But I thought it's important to look up. Now, I'll give you a really good example of that. It's lovely you asked that. Breathing on Mars, right? Now, I could go up to Mars now, right? And I could have a breathing apparatus implant, and I'd be able to breathe. However, the pack that I would need is enormous.
Yeah.
And I would only be there the last 10 minutes. And I'd have to have this massive pack of breathing stuff on my back. Now I'm just thinking, if you think about mobile phones when they first came out, not that long ago really, great big suitcase, wasn't it? You know what I mean?
Big old brick.
Remember, before the brick,
Yeah.
it was just, I remember, it was just people on set, directors looked very impressive. They'd have their assistant with a suitcase behind them.
Yeah.
They open it up and he'd have a phone. So, and that was the first mobile, because it was mobile. Then the bricks came in. But you think of the size of that. You think of the size now of a mobile, not that many years later, you can do it in a watch, can't you?
Yeah.
So, the implant will get, without a shadow of a doubt, tiny. You punch them, put them in your lung, you're good to go. If you're old, like me, you might not survive very long. However, if you're a young person, hence young people on Mars are doing incredibly well. So the point being, to answer your question, yeah, that's an actual fact that that will happen. So yes, I think someone, and these are experts, I'm not just going through some YouTubey people, these are scientific experts who say yes, and it is actually our closest, unless they discover a new something or other in the next 100 years, Mars is the only place we can go. If you look at the launch, they haven't launched yet, have they? They're new guys, that new one.
No.
It's in a day or so, is it?
Yeah.
Artemis.
Now that is, as they say, they're going round because they want to put a place on the moon as a staging post to go to Mars.
Me and Peter talked about that on the way up here, because Peter's a big NASA fan and
Yeah.
he loves all that kind of stuff. And how that is this is going to be the furthest that man has ever travelled, Pete?
Yes, because they go around the back, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's a great advance, isn't it? Really, when that going that far, and
Yeah.
you see it, and the moon, and the next thing would be Mars.
Yeah, they've got to put a base on it, and then
That's
the
where
next
they're
place
going
we
to
move. It's going to happen. We might not all be here. Let's find a young face. Oh, they're all young faces.
You send them all out scared now, Dan.
So, yeah, but well, as I say, there's Sophie there. She's no longer quite the spring chicken she once was. She has a good time on Mars, as you will see.
I think the key is as well that anyone can, if you sign up to follow the comic and follow the socials, there'll be competitions and the chance to get yourself into those comics.
Oh, wow.
So that's we want to build a community. It's not about a comic. It's about a community and a culture of people buying into this philosophy.
Yeah, I think that's a wonderful idea to do a competition where you can join it.
I
And
mean, the band's got songs. It's got an album.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's got live songs of them singing. It's about a big. It's not just a comic. This is about a community.
and what's your social media tag for the
Moon's on Mars.
moons on Mars? All in one word.
All in one word.
Any other questions for anyone? Oh yeah.
Yeah, as you say about the comic, about ideas, what about, there's a iconic place called the Face of Mars.
Oh yeah, I know, yeah.
What about turning that into like a nightclub or
That's not bad, is it?
That's a good one.
or something to do with your
Yeah, no, I like the face. It's good, isn't it? The face. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. That's a really good idea.
Yes, yeah.
I mean, that's the sort of thing we're talking about.
And that's the sort of collaboration you can have with
Yeah.
us. So if you've got ideas like that, you can tell us what you want and we can work on that. So you feel part of the comic as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You look like a kind of nightclub manager as well.
Yeah.
I think that's it. Yeah, put yourself
Big
forward.
hotel, stroke, anything, you know, what you want within your comic. So.
Brilliant, great idea.
Yeah, I like that a lot, yeah.
That's a
Very
good
nice.
one. Talk with the guys in the other room.
Yeah.
Get your face on there. Any other questions off anyone? Yep.
Yeah, just for Jack maybe, what's the most challenging part of the ideas that you two were talking about?
Lack of detail from these guys.
Yeah.
Because they just give me one-liners saying, I want this person to do this. And, you know, understanding, I mean, let's face it, when I did the first image, which is up front image, isn't it, there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were blown away. But then consistently getting those the same in different clothes or in different positions, that was the difficult bit.
And also, can I say, I mean, Juice does go on a pretty emotional journey, does she
Yeah.
not? And those emotions are etched into her very beautiful face as you go through the first issue of the comic here.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Anyone else? Any other questions? Okay, that's it. Right, guys,
you.
thanks
Thank you
very
very
much.
much.
Thanks
Thank you very
ever
much.
so
Thank you,
for
guys.
the audience, guys. Thank you.
Cheers, mate.
Always, mate.